Why do stars disappear in space photos? Have you ever looked at a photo taken from space and wondered, why is the sky so pitch black with no stars visible? It's as if the entire universe out there is just a vast emptiness, a cosmic silence. But what if I told you that this void hides a secret involving cameras, the human eye, and even conspiracy theories? Is NASA hiding something? Or is the truth much simpler and at the same time far more intriguing than it seems? Today, I'm going to show you why stars vanish in space photos and how understanding this might change the way you see the universe. And in the end, one question will keep echoing in your mind. What else are space photos not showing you? The mystery no one ever explained. Have you ever noticed how the most iconic space photos of the moon, astronauts, or Earth from orbit never show any stars? Just a pitch-black sky, a visual silence that feels impossible in a universe full of light. The first time I saw that, it felt off, unsettling even. No stars? Isn't it strange that the very images meant to reveal the vastness of space end up showing us emptiness? And then, the questions begin. Do stars vanish? In space, are we being lied to? Some say the NASA missions were faked. Others talk about secret studios, global conspiracies, a giant hoax. But before jumping to conclusions, I invite you to take a step back. Let's look at those photos like it's the first time. No judgment, just observation. What do we see? And what's missing? Because here's the truth no one told you. It's not just about stars disappearing. It's about how our eyes and cameras perceive the world differently. It's about limits, human, technological, and perceptual. When you understand that, you realize that sometimes what's missing from an image tells more than what's in it. And silence, that black void in the background, carries a powerful message. So the real question is, why the void? Why that total blackness? Why aren't the stars shining behind it all? In this video, I'll show you how photography, human biology, and the physics of space come together to create this cosmic blackout. But it's not just science, it's philosophy too. Because in the end, the real question is, what else aren't we seeing? Just because no one taught us how to look. The photographic illusion. Why stars vanish. Think about this. When you take a picture with your phone at night, trying to capture the stars, have you noticed how they vanish when there's a strong light source nearby? A street light, a car, even the full moon. The intense light drowns out the stars. In space, it's the same, just on a massive scale. Space cameras must adjust exposure for bright objects, astronauts, the moon, Earth, and that results in a black sky with zero visible stars. That's the physics of light at work. The stars are there, but they're so dim compared to the blinding light of the sun reflected off the moon or Earth that they just don't show up in the photo. It's like trying to photograph a candle next to a stadium floodlight. The contrast is impossible to capture in one frame. Space cameras aren't magical. They have limits, and it's that very limitation that creates the mystery. Absolute blackness, the void, the silence swallowing the stars. Now think about this. If even the most advanced cameras can't handle both light and dark, how do human eyes perform in space? Can astronauts actually see the stars with the naked eye while floating in the void? Or does the harsh sunlight up there blind even them, making stars vanish from their vision too? That question is going to haunt you. But before I answer it, do me a favor. Subscribe to the channel right now, because here at MINDVAULT, we don't stop at easy answers. We go deep, where few dare to look. In the next block, I'll reveal what astronauts themselves have said about what they see in space, and why even they sometimes see nothing but the black void. Human eye in the vacuum. What do they really see? Now that we understand cameras, let's go to something even more fascinating. The human eye. In space, without an atmosphere, the sun is brutal. Its light reflects off the moon's surface, the astronauts' suits, the spacecraft walls, and blinds everything. The human eye adapts. Pupils contract. The retina's rods deactivate. The result? Even in the middle of a void, surrounded by billions of stars, astronauts look around and see only black. It's like stepping out of a dark theater into bright daylight. You're temporarily blinded. Vision takes time to adjust. And in space, with the light hitting directly, astronauts lose the chance to see the subtle shimmer of stars. Astronaut Thomas Pesquet once said, "When we let our eyes adjust to darkness, the stars appear. But when we look at the lit Earth, the brightness blinds us. The stars are there, but the human body simply can't handle it." Now go back with me to the beginning. Remember those Apollo photos with that empty black sky? Remember that strange feeling of staring into nothing? That's the secret. It's not about what we see, but what we can't. Space, for all its stars, may appear as total silence to eyes and cameras, if you don't know how to look. So let me ask you, how many other things can't we see, even when they're right in front of us? Are there other secrets hiding in the black vacuum of the universe? Hold that thought. Because in the next block, we're diving headfirst into conspiracy theories and uncovering where the idea that the moon landing was a hoax really came from. Conspiracies or science, the truth behind the void. Now, the most controversial part. You've probably heard the theory that the moon landing was fake, filmed on a secret NASA soundstage. The claim is simple. Where are the stars in the photos? For many, the black sky without stars is the final proof of a hoax. But does that really make sense? Does the absence of stars in an image mean the universe was erased? Or is there a far more technical and even fascinating reason for the cosmic silence? Let's stick to the facts. The Apollo cameras had to capture the bright lunar surface, astronaut suits and gear. Sunlight was blasting everything without a filter, creating such intensity that any attempt to capture stars would blow out the rest of the image. It's pure physics. Short exposure kills faint starlight. This pattern repeats in every mission, Apollo, ISS, even Artemis. When the foreground is lit, the background turns black. It's not a conspiracy. It's photography. Of course, the human mind loves a mystery. Where there's emptiness, we invent stories. And the silence of space, that black background, that absence of stars, becomes the perfect stage for theories. Is the government hiding something? Are we seeing only a fraction of the truth? Or, as we saw earlier, is the real limit not in space, but in how we perceive the universe? Now, to truly settle it, we need to flip the perspective. Let's look at the images where stars do appear. Because yes, they exist, and they're stunning. But to capture them, you must completely change how you look. In the next block, I'll show you the pictures that prove the universe is there, radiant, silent, waiting to be revealed. But before that, did you hit the like button? That support is the fuel that helps us keep digging into the mysteries no one else dares to touch. The stars are there, but you have to know how to see them. Now, take a deep breath. Because yes, the stars are there. There are photos from space showing a sky full of stars. Images taken with cameras adjusted to capture the deep void where faint light can finally shine. The Hubble Space Telescope is a master of this. It collects light for minutes, even hours, and the result is a universe bursting with stars. The stars are there all along. You just have to let the silence speak, and it's not just Hubble. Astronauts aboard the ISS have captured stunning star trails. Long exposures in darkness reveal constellations we only dream of seeing from Earth. But they only appear when settings are just right, and when there's no bright foreground. It's almost like a magic trick. The darker the stage, the more light reveals itself. The blackness of space hides, but it also reveals. So next time someone says, "If there are no stars in space photos, it's all fake," you'll know better. It's not a conspiracy. It's not NASA's failure. It's physics, it's photography, it's biology, and it's also philosophy. The universe is an infinite stage, but it only reveals itself to those willing to look beyond the obvious. The stars are there. The void is just a veil. And the light is for those who know how to see it. Now tell me, how many other truths do you think are hidden? Just because no one ever taught us to look properly. How many mysteries go unnoticed because the camera, or our mind, is focused elsewhere? In the next episode, we'll explore one of those invisible secrets, something you see every day, but almost no one realizes what it truly means. Subscribe to the channel, because the next video will blow your mind. The stars never disappeared. We were just taught not to see them, because sometimes what's missing in the picture is what matters most. Now that you know this, I'll ask you, what other voids in your life seem dark, only because you never adjusted the focus? Subscribe to the channel, because in the next video, we're going to talk about another invisible mystery. Something you see every day, but may have never truly understood.